Welcome back. We've returned to Gamming's hometown here to find out what all the hustle and bustle is. I mean, that's the name of the quest, so.
The mountain air is so refreshing. It makes Paimon feel like she could float around all day and never get tired. Cream! Gummies! Fuel fruit!
Alright then. But have we ever seen Paimon not floating? I can't remember.
Huh? Did you hear that?
Did I hear that? It was quite loud, Paimon.
Sunshine! Blue skies! Good vibes!
Whose voice is that? I mean, I heard it too.
Right? So Paimon wasn't just hearing things.
No, again, it's very loud.
That voice sounds really familiar. Well, we've got the time. Why don't we go check it out?
This is Gamming's hometown, right? I mean, I said that at the start, then I just realized, like, wait. His father lives here, so I've just assumed that. It might not be. Anyway, okay, let's go see what's up. If it's not, let me know. You know, I'm curious again. You and Paimon make your way up the mountain in search of the source of the shouting. As far as you can make out, it's almonds this and cocoa paste that. Sounds delicious, that's for sure. The lively voice invigorates your steps, and you ascend the mountain in no time. Oh, hello.
What are they doing here?
That's a good question. Maybe I get what I want, where it's like people from other nations coming over for the Lantern Rite. That'd be cool.
Navia Clorinde!
Ah, well, if it isn't my dear partners.
I am on the right quest, right? I mean, it's voiced, so...
See, I told you that something good was going to happen during our travels today. I have to say, sometimes the Steambird's astrology column is spot on.
It's just your lucky day.
Are you guys also here to catch the festivities? Oh, and that reminds me, Happy Lantern Rite.
Definitely the right quest, okay.
Happy Lantern Rite.
Oh, and to you too.
Happy Lantern Rite to you too! Wait, if you're here for Lantern Rite, then what are you doing on top of this deserted mountain?
Yeah, kind of a bit far away from where you need to be.
And that voice we heard, that was you, right, Navia?
Oh, impressive. You could tell it was me from that far away. You've got good ears.
I mean, I didn't expect it to be Navia, so...
That or your voice is just really loud.
Oh, it was incredibly loud. That's for sure.
Well, of course it is. After all, I'm a boss.
Indeed. I suppose it's an asset.
Sure is! Having a loud voice is a handy tool when it comes to communication. Wait. That wasn't even Paimon's point. Paimon just wants to know why you two were shouting from the top of this deserted mountain. There was something about almonds, maybe? And buell fruit? Ooh, is it some sort of secret code?
No, it's not a code. The words are meaningless.
Perhaps, but the act of shouting was very meaningful indeed. That's just what mountain climbers do, right? After all the hard work it takes to make it to the top, as you stand on the summit looking out at the vast scenery, it's not easy to resist the urge to release those emotions.
So loudly, though? I see. So it's not what you were shouting that matters. I mean, you'd think you'd shout something other than ingredients for something. I was trying to think of a recipe that included all of them, and it's like, I don't know. But the act of shouting itself.
Exactly. You get me, partner. I was afraid that it would cause a disturbance, so I asked the locals around here, and they said it was fine. Apparently most hikers like to shout when they get to the top, so the locals are used to it by now.
Oh, so that's why they didn't react when we did. Okay, I was wondering what was going on. We could hear it, so surely everyone else could hear it, and they didn't seem to care. They're used to it.
So, you see, it's not just me. I guess everyone shouts from the top of a mountain at some point in their life.
Speak for yourself.
When you're stressed, don't you ever just get the urge to do something for no reason?
For no reason?
not really. If I ever get stressed, I just go hunting.
Oh, that's a pretty good way to relieve stress.
What I choose to hunt depends on my mood.
Huh?
Anyway, why don't you two give it a try? Shout anything you want. It's a real stress reliever.
That was kind of worrying just then.
As long as Paimon has clothes on her back and food in her belly, Paimon doesn't think there's any stress that needs relieving.
And I prefer to keep things bottled up. I barely speak. I'm almost a silent protagonist, yes.
Oh, I bet you guys are just too embarrassed to let loose. No need to be shy. Even Furina was shouting from the top of this mountain earlier.
Why is who an option? We know who Furina is. Or is it a who of like... If it's a who of shock, like who? Like who did you say? It would be who... exclamation question mark or question mark exclamation. Can't remember which way round it's meant to be.
Huh? Did Paimon hear that right? Furina's also here? In Qiaoying Village?
Okay, so it is a... I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Kinda who?
Believe in your ears. It is indeed as you heard. Actually, the reason we climbed this mountain in the first place was also because we heard the sound of shouting.
Yes, we could just about make out someone yelling things like, "Help me!" and "What should I do?" So we hurried up here to check it out.
Did you resolve the issue?
And what do you know? Miss Furina was standing right there, all red in the face. She practically sprinted back down the mountain the minute she saw us.
Yeah, but it may not have been her that was shouting those things. Maybe she ran off to help whoever was in need.
Ah, that reminds me. I believe what she actually said was, "So help me, I will figure out what I should do about this script."
Ah, okay, that makes more sense. I was very worried. There could have been someone in trouble. Furina could have been in trouble.
So, you could actually hear what she was saying? Why didn't you say so earlier? I thought someone was really in trouble.
I thought someone was still in trouble.
I figured we would come check out the situation either way. Why not let her keep some privacy?
Oh, seems like you caught Furina in the middle of some stress relief as well.
Privacy? She screamed it from a mountaintop. That's not exactly private. That's even like a phrase to describe something not private that you want everyone to hear. What?
She probably would have never thought. No, she definitely would have never thought she would run into anyone she knew all the way out here.
I mean, was she alone?
I think so. We ran into Neuvillette on the way here as well, but he was already on his way back, so they probably weren't together.
Neuvillette?
What? Neuvillette was here too?
How many more people from Fontaine is there going to be?
What was he doing here? It couldn't have been for vacation.
I mean, it's probably all for Lantern, right? Surely.
I think it just might have been, actually. But apparently he only stayed for half a day before heading back. He's a very busy man.
Oh no, we missed him? Was he secretly there during the cutscene in the previous quest?
Neuvillette is not the type to take much time off. Taking even a half day for himself is already a huge step in the right direction.
Didn't Charlotte publish an article on the Liyue tea industry recently? Maybe he was inspired to come buy some tea after reading that article. You know, just like you were.
My situation is completely different. I'm here because I was asked to accompany you. The tea purchase is simply an added bonus of this location.
So let me get this straight. If I want to make a group based around tea, I could get you in my group. But how would that work with Sizhuin? Because I need to get Sizhuin in the group, but I want Sizhuin there with 3 other tea drinkers. We shall see.
You Fontainians and your tea drinking.
What is wrong with tea drinking? What do you have to say for yourself, Paimon? Tea is lovely. I have one right here.
Oh, it's not for me. I lost a bet with Ridesley, and now I have to buy him something.
Okay, so maybe you don't drink tea. Seems like a fitting gift. That does fit with my current team, obviously, because, you know, he drinks tea. He partakes in coffee as well. Yes, we know, but he does drink tea. That's the important bit.
It was just a spur-of-the-moment sort of bet. Ridesley gets really invested in that sort of thing, but he couldn't care less about what he wins in the end.
Ah, I always appreciate it when they get it right with the couldn't care less.
You could give him mint plants that you plucked from the side of the road, and he wouldn't even mind.
If only he was that easygoing when it came to talking business. In any case, I'm pretty sure the tea you bought is this region's specialty. What is it called again? Neuvillette even mentioned it earlier.
Sunglow tea? Buy 10 boxes, get half off?
Yes, that's the one.
You didn't really buy 10 boxes, did you?
Please, do I look like someone who would fall for that sort of marketing trap?
That reminds me. You guys said you only came up here because you heard my voice, right? I hope it didn't put you out. You must have had other plans for the day.
That does remind me, I need to buy the PlayStation 5 Yorkshire tea controller. That's a thing. Yeah. It's strange, but it's kind of perfect.
Oh, that's right. Who tell? A few days ago, we heard that a friend was going to be in Chaoying Village, so we decided to come and see if we could run into her.
Oh dear. We've been chatting for quite some time. I'm sorry for keeping you.
Oh, no harm, no done, partner.
That's good.
We should probably head out and look for Hu Tao.
No need to stay on our account. We just got up here, so we're gonna stay around for a little longer.
Go and meet your friend. We can meet up in Chaoying Village later.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Sounds good. We're gonna head down the mountain then. See you later!
So where's Furina gone? Where are you, Furina? I imagine you're around somewhere down here. Yeah, there you go. I suspected as much.
Chaoying Village is known for its tea, but you know what else they have with tea? That's right, dim sum! Didn't Gaming say something about dim sum being eaten in the morning? Oh, Paimon wonders if we can still get some at this time of day.
A good afternoon tea might be more appropriate at this point. Indeed. I mean, I like this. I've just noticed that the central tree thing here has actually got a teapot at the top of the central bit there. And I think that's cups that are around it as well. This really is a tea village, isn't it? Fantastic.
Oh, well that's fine too. Paimon doesn't care what kind of tea it is as long as it comes with some tasty snacks.
Well, that's what's good about British afternoon tea, is it's usually just a nice cup of tea with milk, maybe 1 or 2 sugars, but there is usually a selection of cakes and sandwiches.
Now let's see what kind of yummy things we can find around here. Paimon's not seeing things, is she? Is that Furina standing between Zhongli and Hu Tao?
I mean, judging based on the hat, I'd say so. And the fact it's a very blue character.
Wonder what they're talking about. Zhongli knows a lot of stuff. Maybe he's telling Furina about Chaoying Village. Oh, or maybe Hu Tao is trying to rope Furina into being one of her clients.
Well, you want to make a bet?
Hey, this isn't the Fortress of Meropide. But Paimon could be convinced for the right price. Let's say loser buys the winner 3 huge bowls of seafood kanji.
Oh, kanji, that's how you say that, okay.
Since Zhongli is there, Paimon bets things are pretty tame. It's decided then. Paimon votes for tour guide Zhongli.
Then I vote for Hustler Hu Tao.
Alright, no time to waste. Let's go see who's right. Good afternoon, Hu Tao, Zhongli, and Furina!
There's a chest under the bridge.
Oh great, now Paimon's shouting too.
Indeed, and you're not at the top of a mountain, so it's quite strange.
Oh, well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Seems like our luck just keeps on growing.
That we were able to meet you both without prior arrangement must mean that this is quite the serendipitous meeting indeed.
Oh, so both of you are acquainted with the Traveler and Paimon then?
I'm just looking at this one here. Chums. When has the Traveler ever used the word chums? Okay, I've keenly felt the passage of time since our last meeting. So many chums all in one place!
I'm pretty sure you didn't learn that one from me. I must admit, I am a bit surprised to see you here, Traveler. But seeing as you're a hero who's been all over Teyvat, it makes sense that you would be well-traveled and well-connected. Since we have found ourselves in each other's company within this fertile land, allow me to take this opportunity to wish you a happy Lantern Rite.
Oh indeed, happy Lantern Rite.
It appears you have been to Fontaine then. Given your proclivity to spread good deeds wherever you go, it's no surprise that you would make the acquaintance of a celebrity as illustrious and celebrated as Miss Furina.
That's quite high praise. What I mean to say is, you flatter me, Mr. Zhongli. Although I've built up a certain following within Fontaine, it is no reflection of strength or wisdom. I stand before you right now as nothing more than an ordinary traveler in search of beautiful scenery and creative inspiration. There is definitely more to Mr. Zhongli than meets the eye. I could tell as much from our conversation earlier.
I mean, he does have that lovely voice.
Given his breadth of knowledge on both academic and worldly matters, there's no way he hasn't heard about what happened in Fontaine.
I mean, yeah, considering who he is, he'll know.
Is he just feigning ignorance for my benefit?
That is something he would do, yeah.
No. You're no common tourist. I simply won't have you talk about yourself that way.
Oh, does that mean Hu Tao also knows?
You may not have heard, friends, but...
Miss Hu Tao.
Miss Furina is now one of my esteemed clients.
She is?
Yep.
Did you hear that, Paimon? She's Hu Tao's esteemed client. Uh-huh.
Okay, you win.
Did it again.
Guess Paimon will have to break into the hidden stash at the bottom of her shoe.
What?
What's this about winning something?
What's this about hidden stash in the bottom of your shoe?
Don't tell me. You two were placing bets on us.
It was Paimon's idea. I'm literally pointing to my left. That was creepy. Like, we did it at the exact same time. Ugh, that's weird. Anyway, it was her idea.
We just saw you guys standing on the side of the road and couldn't help but take guesses as to what you were talking about.
Oh, I see. That means you, my friend, must have guessed that I was trying to promote my business to Miss Furina.
Well, you know me.
That I do, my friend. What was Paimon's guess then?
Paimon thought Zhongli was showing the newbie around.
By newbie, you mean me, right?
That's correct.
If that's the case, then Paimon's guess was also correct.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Zhongli was telling me about some great sightseeing spots in the area.
No!
You see? Paimon was right too!
You were, but you also gave away the fact that you have a hidden stash in your shoe. You do realize that, right?
Since both of our guesses were right, there can't be a winner or a loser.
Fine, keep your secret stash. For now.
Hey, don't be upset, Traveler. How about this? You buy Paimonable, and Paimon will also buy Youable.
That means we haven't spent anything, really, other than buying what we bought ourselves. Okay.
As for the third bowl...
Since I was the subject of the bet, perhaps it should go to me? You know, as a congratulations for the huge deal I just struck.
I'll buy you a bowl anytime you want.
I was just joking. Anyway, I should be the one treating you. The funeral parlor is about to bring in quite the sum after all.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot to ask about the most important question. Something happen recently, Furina?
Like what?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you know, with you enlisting the services of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor and all.
Oh, well, yes.
Really? Oh no. Paimon is so sorry for your loss. Although Paimon may have not known the person, please accept Paimon's deepest...
It's not going to be related to death.
Whoa, it's not like that, Paimon.
Huh? But Paimon just thought, since you hired the services of a funeral parlor and all... Hey, it's not that big of a stretch.
No, completely understandable. I'm with you on this one, Paimon.
Really, Paimon? It's not like you don't know me. Do I look like I know anyone who would ask me to coordinate their funeral? Miss Hu Tao is simply helping prepare some props for my film.
I like how they didn't respond.
Not too long ago, I read a collection of horror stories from Liyue. The content was spectacular. In fact, I still feel the need to sleep with the light on even now.
No, that's happened to me before.
Anyway, that's not the point. Now that Fontaine's biggest star has returned to the stage, I figured it's about time the industry enjoyed a breath of fresh air.
You might even call it a breath of fresh... air or...
Hey, that's pretty good. I'll have to remember that for my ad posters.
It really doesn't sound like terror.
Oh, Paimon sees. That makes a lot of sense.
That's what they were going for, right?
So, did you come to Liyue just to enlist the services of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor?
Well, not exactly.
All I'm thinking right now is those jokes are as bad as Igutsuki's jokes. From Persona 3. Reload.
My original plan was to just relax and enjoy the sights. But then I ran into Miss Hu Tao and Mr. Zhongli, and well, you know the rest. I suppose it was meant to be.
It was a fated meeting indeed.
It was the choice of Steins Gate, one might say.
Zhongli sure loves his lofty turns of phrase. But if you ask me, it's all thanks to that man who stopped to ask for directions.
Neuvillette? Question mark?
Oh? Who was it?
It's someone you know. Wanna take a guess?
It was Neuvillette, wasn't it?
What? How did you guess that on your first try?
It's the only other name that's been mentioned recently.
Very impressive, my friend. Your guessing game is spot on today.
You tell everyone about your encounter with Navia Clorinde at the top of the mountain. One look at the pitiful expression on Furina's face is enough to convince you to leave out the part about the shouting.
Huh. Paimon never thought Neuvillette would be the type to get lost.
I'm sure he didn't get lost. Even I was able to find my way to this place without any trouble. He was already getting ready to leave by the time I arrived. He just wanted to ask someone about the quickest way to get back to Fontaine.
Yup, that's exactly what he asked. This area is full of mountains and rivers. It's normal to not know the fastest route.
For him, though, swimming would probably be the fastest route of them all. Or flying. Potentially. He's a dragon. Can he be dragon form again? I'm not sure on that, actually.
So, were you the one that pointed him in the right direction, Hu Tao?
Of course. I'm also a guide of sorts, you know. So naturally, I also have a great sense of direction.
Maybe he's just a dragon that doesn't fly. That would make sense as well. Isn't Leviathan like a water dragon? I'm not sure on my Leviathan mythos and theology. Someone let me know.
But speaking of your friend...
What about him?
He doesn't get out much, does he?
No, he does not.
No wonder. He was stiff as a board and way too polite. I would have never guessed he was here on vacation if you hadn't told me.
All in all, he was only here for half a day. I'm pretty sure he is the only one who would consider that to be a vacation.
Oh? This gentleman you speak of must keep a demanding schedule.
I'm sure he does. You didn't see him, but he was dressed like he was about to attend some important meeting. It wasn't anything like what someone would wear on vacation.
Is that so?
Wait, you didn't see him, Zhongli?
Unfortunately, no. At the time, it appeared as if Director Hu and Miss Furina were having quite the productive conversation. I know matters of business can take much discussion, so I decided to fetch some tea for them.
What a shame. That gentleman seemed like a sophisticated sort of guy. I actually think you two would have hit it off.
Is that so?
Judging by how Zhongli is acting, and taking into consideration Neuvillette's true identity, could Zhongli have been avoiding him on purpose?
Hmm?
Oh, I see. It is what it is. It's truly a pity.
To borrow Miss Furina's turn of phrase, perhaps it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, with the Traveler around, I'm sure you'll have a chance to get to know each other at some point.
That's right. He's got more friends than he knows what to do with.
I'm good with people.
Well, that's certainly true. Oh, that reminds me. If you get the chance, you should try and talk to Neuvillette into loosening up a bit. Just tell him the Palais Mermonia isn't going to fall apart if he disappears for a few days. He shouldn't keep himself cooped up all the time. Even clams open their shells to let in fresh water every once in a while, right? If he's really that much of a stickler for protocol, he can fill out a leave of absence request. He'd have to approve it himself since he handles that sort of thing now, but you know what I mean.
I like how she said stickler for protocol. That does make sense.
Seems like this gentleman is also in charge of something pretty important.
He's the fair and impartial Iudex of Fontaine. Did I say that right? Head of the highest court in the land. Otherwise known as the demon who controls all the paperwork in Fontaine.
I've never heard of a demon that boring before. In my experience, a leader needs to be able to roll with the punches. That also includes knowing when and what to prioritize. It seems like your friend still has a lot of growing to do.
If I remember correctly, he's already several thousands of years old. You're quite right, Miss Hu Tao.
Well, hello. Look who's on the bridge over there.
Oh? Traveler, Miss Furina. Those two individuals over there appear to recognize you.
And I appear to recognize them. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Navia and Clorinde. Hey, over here!
We saw you all chatting over here, and we're wondering if we could join in.
Please, excuse the interruption.
Oh, so polite. No apologies necessary. Any friend of the Traveler and Miss Furina is a friend of mine. Ah, straight to the point. I like it.
Everyone circles around you and begins to introduce themselves. Hu Tao's eyes light up when she hears about Clorinde's profession. But a quick explanation from Furina and Navia seems to dispel some of her more misguided ideas.
It's getting late. If we want to catch a boat back before dark, we should probably get going.
Indeed. Then, Miss Furina,
Oh, yes?
when are you planning to head back? Do you need us to escort you?
Oh, I don't think that will be necessary.
That won't be necessary.
I mean, you're not my subordinate anymore. You don't need to look after me.
I didn't mean it that way. It's normal for friends to travel home together if they run into each other on the road.
There are a lot of mountainous roads in this area. I imagine they'll be even harder to navigate after dark.
Exactly. Just like in those ghost stories. 8 paths converge in a wood. Beside them an old house is stood. If you dare to go inside, not a soul will greet your eye. But if you take a closer look, there may be something you mistook. A candle flickers to and fro, yet there is no wind to make it so. What is its secret? What could it mean? In this wood, where mystery screams. Ooh.
Oh dear, oh dear.
My dear demoiselles, ladies, no, I mean friends, please take me with you.
Of course.
Furina?
Gotta say, Furina, you are really quite the character. By the way, did I hear you mention that Clorinde used to work under you? Then you must have also been a leader at some point.
Yeah, well, about that.
Well, that's, all in the past now.
It was quite the story.
Besides, being a leader is hard. It wasn't the right job for me. I prefer how things are now. I can come and go as I please, and get to enjoy the sweet taste of freedom.
I see. Well, you've certainly picked an apt place to relax. Chaoying Village is an exemplary choice.
Well, have you all had a good time?
Only the best. And I've learned a lot, too. Thank you so much, Miss Hu Tao and Mr. Zhongli.
It's fine. You've thanked us more than enough already. The next time you're in this neck of the woods, I'll treat you to some dim sum in the city.
Dim sum. Is that some kind of Liyue term for snacks or desserts?
They are a part of it. It's basically a table full of as much tea, sweets, and good company as you can manage.
Yeah, it does seem like it's similar to, British afternoon tea.
Oh, so it's basically a tea party. Sounds great.
Make sure to order the winter melon cake and the lotus flower crisp. They're so sweet and delicious. Paimon knows you'll love them.
I'm rather partial, again, this is the British afternoon tea, rather partial to lemon drizzle cake or a Victoria sponge cake.
Ooh, okay. I'll be looking forward to it then.
I just realised I said rather partial to. I like. Yep, that's what I mean. I like them.
Wait, but didn't you guys say you were here on vacation? How come you're all going home empty-handed?
You're not bringing home any souvenirs?
Of course I am. I bought tons of fun things to bring home with me. A kite, a parasol, a little tin frog that jumps. Oh, and a stuffed toy of a mythical beast. Clorinde is the one who didn't buy anything for herself.
Oh, come now, you must.
So all you're bringing back with you is that tea?
Tea.
And some tea-flavored hard candies. They're for Sigewin.
Oh! Let me take a picture of that and, probably show that to Sarah. She might not know about that line. Just, it'll be funny.
Clorinde isn't much of a shopaholic.
Well, one of us has to practice restraint.
Hey, I'm hardly reckless with my Mora. I'll have you know, all the purchases I made today were well within my budget.
What about you, Furina?
Me? Oh, Well, I bought some tea, of course. I just had to try all the varieties recommended in the Steambird. Other than that, just some bits and bobs, you know. A little bit of this, little bit of that. They should all be things I can use, I think.
Uh-huh. So you fell for a few marketing traps then?
Now Paimon's even more confused. If you bought that much stuff, where did it all go? Into one of Linny's magic packets?
Oh, they all have a pocket dimension. I mean, you've got your secret stash of money in your shoe.
Oh, actually.
Monsieur Neuvillette took them with him.
Oh, so that's what happened. Wait, what? Why did he take them? He's not hoarding treasure, is he?
That's quite the imagination you've got there, Paimon.
Because he's a dragon.
Monsieur Neuvillette just saw the amount of bags we had and offered to take them back for us. I felt a bit bad at first, but, I really did have a lot of stuff.
He even offered to deliver my gifts to the Fortress of Meripede for me once he's done with the day's work. Neuvillette is a man of his word. If he says he can do something, then he means it.
See, even Clorinde was happy to take him up on his offer. If even his trusty subordinate agreed, then who was I to refuse?
Wow, he seems like a real gentleman. Maybe he's not as uptight as I thought. If only the funeral parlor had an employee as thoughtful, proactive, and responsible as him. Right, Zhongli?
Ho ho!
Indeed.
You leaving it at that?
Clorinde said Neuvillette offered to deliver her gifts to Risley. So if we go to the entrance of the Fortress of Meripede, maybe we'll run into Neuvillette. But we don't know exactly when he'll show up.
He'll arrive precisely when he means to. You know, like probably straight away. I've got to walk a long way to get there.
Look, it's Neuvillette. We lucked out.
How convenient. Like he knew we were coming.
Oh, it's you. It has been some time since our last meeting. Few people frequent this location. Since I was able to conclude my work early for the day, I thought I might take a walk and avail myself of this area's peace and quiet.
You call this early? Do you always work this late, Neuvillette?
Strictly speaking, that depends on the agenda for the day. I am hardly bereft of time, however, so working late is of little consequence to me.
Really? If you have so much time on your hands, then why did you only go to Chaoying Village for half a day?
First, I should clarify that I was referring to my lifespan, rather than the time at my disposal on any given day.
Ah, a different perspective, I see.
Second, I was unaware you possessed knowledge of my trip to Chaoying Village.
You give Neuvillette a quick summary of everything that happened.
I see. Thank you for informing me.
So, did you deliver the gifts?
Yes, they have been safely delivered.
Aw, I wanted to see Sijuin get the, tea-flavored candy.
I have to hand it to Clorinde.
Or maybe I will.
Just a simple gift delivery, and she has the great and mighty Udex at her beck and call.
I was just passing through. It was merely an act of convenience.
All right. Then I hereby confirm receipt of the goods on behalf of the staff of the Fortress of Meripede.
A verbal receipt of confirmation? Is such a formality really necessary for a small matter such as this?
Guess not. This quantity of tea, though, seems a little excessive for a gift, don't you think? Before you know it, they'll start accusing me of taking bribes.
About that. Much of that is my own excess, I'm afraid.
Oh? Why? What happened?
It was buy 10 boxes, get half off.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew it.
Ah, that explains it then. Well, go ahead and leave them to me. I'll get through this stash as fast as I can.
I mean, it's not a bad idea to buy that much tea when it's at such a price. Because you will use it, and it doesn't really go off. It doesn't have really like a best before date, really. It'll last a long while. Yeah, I buy my tea in bulk. So.
You have my thanks.
I suppose it depends on how quickly you drink tea.
Oh, there's something else I'd like to give to you.
This is a stone slate, engraved with a symbolic design.
Oh?
While that is an apt description, it is in actuality a legal codex.
A legal codex, huh?
Before the advent of modern writing utensils, information was recorded on stone slabs such as this. The law was no different.
Okay.
Since ancient times, the scales of justice have symbolized the fairness and impartiality of judiciousness. As a tribute to that sentiment, this slate was designed after a traditional legal codex and engraved with a symbol instead of text. During my travels recently, I chanced upon a roadside stall offering tourists the opportunity to try their hand at the ceramic arts, so I decided to have a go. We joked with Clorinde some time ago about gifting you a legal codex. So, here you go.
So that's what this is about.
I did not expect you to remember it as well. In any case, I hope this can be considered as a reasonable attempt to join in on the banter.
It is a very good attempt.
A very Neuvillette attempt.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Even your sense of humor centers around the law. That's an impressive level of commitment. Well, a gift of this significance deserves to be put on display, and I know just the place. Front and center in the fortress's showroom.
Surely there's no need for such a grand gesture.
Just kidding. I don't have anything like a showroom.
I was wondering, I was like, where is this showroom? I want to have a look.
But we do have a storage room. We can put it next to all the mechanical parts Sigewinne has collected.
It really is like all these little bits and pieces we're getting about Sigewinne. It's like, why is she collecting mechanical parts? Why?
That sounds good to me.
What's she up to?
So that's what you were doing in Qiaoying Village.
Indeed. Of course, while I was there, I also took the opportunity to taste the local spring water. The aftertaste is much purer than what I have delivered to me in Fontaine. It stands to reason that the long-distance transport has a tendency to imbue the water with extraneous emotion. If you want to experience the true flavor, you simply have to go to the source. Perhaps I should organize some time off to do the same elsewhere.
As they say in Liyue, a balance between work and play is sure to keep your troubles at bay.
Then we are of the same mind. It appears my desire is justified.
If you say so, but you know you don't have to justify a vacation, right? You can just take one.
Oh. I very much feel that I in my head I have to justify having time off. I can't just have time off.
After all, you're hardly bereft of time. You can do whatever you want.
You're quite right. I suppose I suffer not from a lack of opportunity, but rather a lack of inspiration. However, after reading a few articles about Liyue's holiday traditions, the idea popped into my head and made itself quite at home. Seeing as I was free of responsibilities for the morning, I decided to depart at once.
And how was it?
Refreshing. My spontaneous outing seemed to inspire quite a few other spontaneous decisions as well. Take, for example, my foray into ceramics. At first, soil from the ground is granular and unforgiving, but add the right amount of water, and it becomes soft, moldable, and able to take shape. In the past, I never thought about how quotidian vessels were crafted, but now I have participated in their very making. This is also something I made today.
Oh, look at that. It's lovely. Oh, wow. What a big ladle.
That's a ladle? long-necked sea creature.
Yes, he combined the two elements together, Paimon.
That was indeed one of my inspirations.
It's amazing. The color also really matches your style. It really does. It's cute and adorable. I kind of want one.
Really? You like it? To tell you the truth, given your unexpected arrival, I find myself quite unequipped to give you the welcome you deserve.
He was so happy to hear that we liked it.
Around such an important holiday such as this, human custom would dictate that gifts should be in order. But I'm afraid this is all I can offer. If you'll have it, that is.
Can I really keep this? You made it by hand and everything.
That is precisely why it would do me such a great honor if you accepted.
Oh. Then I accept. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Happy Lantern Rite.
Oh, happy Lantern Rite to you. And that reminds me. You pass along the advice for Neuvillette's vacation.
Approve a leave of absence request for myself. That sounds like it could easily lead to a vicious cycle of self-indulgence, something which couldn't be in further violation of protocol. But I suppose I understand her point. My proclivity to refrain from personal outings does in part originate from a sense of responsibility toward my duties. But it is also due to a lack of desire to engage in the human world. But now I see that the human world is indeed full of many interesting places to discover.
I mean, I could have told you that. We gotta have a look at the ladle. We gotta. Wait, what's opened up now then? Oh, that's the quest we got when we arrived in the Vale, wasn't it? Yes. We need to see about that at some point. We got other things to do. We got the Fontaine things to do as well. I've had that one forever. I'm thinking we'll get the other Lantern Rite ones done here. These 3 first. And then part 1 of this as well. Like anything that's got time limits on it. I want to see about that one as well. Because that one's confusing. Because that one just appeared in the middle of nowhere when I was exploring at one point. Like here. I was like, huh? I don't know what's going on there. Anyway. Let's see here. Ignore that. It's part of my plans for later. Ignore it. Ignore the fact that I have certain characters now. Ignore that. Anyway. Right. Where am I looking? Oh, it's one of the furnishings. That's cool. Oh, I didn't realize that like the kite was one of the furnishings as well. Huh. That's cool. That's cool. Right. Anyway, let's speak to Neuvillette.
Lantern Rite marks the start of the new year in Liyue. In the spirit of the season, then, I wish you a year of success as vast and endless as the open ocean.
Oh, thank you very much. And we'll basically leave this part on that note. That was nice to have some element of the characters from other nations, as I said, going over to the Lantern Rite, so we had some Fontaine interactions over there as well. It would have been nice if they were more involved, I feel. That would have been cool. That would have been cool. But anyway, that's what's going to be done for this part. In the next part, we'll have a look at wait, hold on. We'll go through the list on here. So start with this one. So Paper Shadow Ruminations in the next part. Ta-da for now.